Hey besties, and we back. Yeah. Okay, besties. So I have people anxiety, social anxiety, whatever. I have anxiety, and I don't let anxiety stop me. Like, I used to let anxiety stop me. I'm not gonna lie. I used to sit in the house, blinds closed, okay? Blinds closed, door closed, the little door sliders at the bottom of your door so the wind won't get in. I just don't want people to know I'm home. Like, lights off, TV low. No, like, I used to be hiding inside of a shell because I didn't want people around me. Some of that had to do with like bullying, or like my friends and family make me feel like I wasn't good enough or something like that. But a lot of it had to do with just the fact that I just did not. I was scary. And a lot of people don't understand, like, I'm really an introvert, but I have extrovert behavior. So, like, one thing I learned how to do is pretend, which that doesn't mean that I'm faking, like, my excitement or my enjoyment, but that does mean that, like, if I'm out in a very big, huge setting, I know how to calm myself down and regulate myself so I don't have an anxiety attack depending on where I am, because sometimes I just can't help it. I needs to go. I can't breathe. But at the same time, I learned how to mask some of those emotions and some of those introverted tendencies so I could become extroverted and I can build relationships in society, because even though I don't like agree with all of social norms, I definitely want to have friends and I want to have a healthy relationship, whether that means platonic or non-platonic. Like, I want to be able to go outside and interact with humans and not feel like an awkward squirrel. I don't know if squirrels are awkward, but I think, awkward squirrel. Yeah. So I have adapted a plan for myself. So, like, when I was younger, first of all, I didn't know I had stage fright until I was on a stage. So when I was in 5th grade, I wrote a rap for Martin Luther King for Black History Month, and I went to Sojourner Truth Academy in North Minneapolis. If you know, you know. Love that school. Hey, Miss JJ, love you. I went there, and so when I performed it, I was so nervous. I stood on stage, and I was just like this, and my shoulders were up to my ears, and I was bobbing and weaving, and I had the crowd sing along, and I was just really, really nervous. But I did it. I also was playing basketball around this time. Basketball, I really didn't care because I didn't have to focus on anything but the ball on my team. So, like, I didn't pay attention to everybody around me. I didn't even listen to my own coach because I was so, like, in my head a little bit and just like, okay, focus on the ball. So I didn't have to look at people or notice people. But when I got on stage and I had to look at over 300 people staring back at me, I was freaking scared. Mind you, I did children's choir when I was younger. I didn't really have much stage fright then because it was like all my family, like my grandparents, they rented out a church. They were pastors and deacons and all that for that church. So it was like ran by family. It wasn't like a stranger and stuff like that. And then when I got older, my dad's church, same thing. It was family. Like, it wasn't blood family that was running the church, but pretty much it was family. Like, these people knew my dad for years, like, since he first came to Minnesota type stuff. So it was not like I was going in there with a bunch of strangers. And then when I got a little older, I would do speeches for mayors. I did choir for a very long time. Never ever did a solo. Never ever did a solo. Even when I lived in Florida, we did choir in school and after school. I call it Black choir because it was just predominantly Black people. Our teacher was Black. I don't think there was any other race besides, like, maybe Hispanic in the after school choir. And we performed for a funeral, which was very, very heartfelt, and it was so hard not to cry. But that was my first time ever performing for a funeral. We were in a choir. They wanted me to do the lead. I did not want to do the lead. I was so scared. Not only was I scared, but, like, I was sick that week, and when I was in Florida, when I was sick, my voice would go goodbye. Like, it would be like, I could not talk, and I could sing a note, but if I got too far into soprano, my voice would crack. Imagine doing that at somebody's funeral. No. So it was like, I wanted to do it, but I was too scared. I'm even scared to drive on the highway because of anxiety, guys. I don't have my driver's license. I know. Shame your mama, don't shame me. We listen, we don't judge. Okay? So I don't have my, like, license because I'm literally scary. Like, y'all, the amount of scarcities that I have is ridiculous. I'm getting out of it though because I'm forcing myself to do it. That's why I say I have a plan. So I went to performing arts schools. I've done plays. I've, done things where I've been able to express myself. I did summer programs when I was younger in middle school, and we did performances. We did choir singing, all types of stuff. I've put myself in these things so I can be better at dealing with high social interactions. And it's so nerve-wracking. Like today, I went to a boxing match. It was so fun. It was so neat and nice. I didn't even notice that I was having really bad anxiety until I left because I was so focused on having a good time. I didn't allow anything or anybody to get in my head. Like, there were people that was irritating me that it registered when I was leaving. Some people that I had to let them know and give them looks like, hold on, you're stepping on my feet, you're not saying excuse me, you're bumping into me, I need you to use your words, we're grown. But there were some things like loud noises, loud music. Please, I might have autism. I don't know. I've never been tested, but on both sides of my family, as far as my dad and both sides? Nope, just as far as my dad's side of the family, there's autism in that side of the family. And I've grown up around a lot of kids who have had mental disabilities as far as autism, Down syndrome, stuff like that. So, mental and physical. But anywho, back to the situation, I have like sensitivity, stuff like that. I remember one time I was with my little sister and her dad, and we were at a Puerto Rican Christmas or Puerto Rican celebration. I think it was either Christmas or Independence Day. I don't know. Please don't crucify me in the comments. But it was such a good time. But out of nowhere, I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. I was having an anxiety attack. I stepped out like 6 times, and that last time I could not go back in. I was just like, I'll wait in the car. This is a great setting. It's nice people. Nobody was rude to me. Nobody made me feel uncomfortable. They all welcomed me with warm, loving arms. It was like a big hug. But at the end of the day, it was so many people, I could not handle it. And I was a teenager at the time. I think it was like 16, 17. But after the fact, I was okay. Because I was like, I don't ever want that to happen again. What if this is my opportunity to become something bigger than me and I can't do it because of my anxiety? Who wants to live like that? What if my child needs me and because I'm scared, I abandon my child? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the time I didn't have a child, but now I do. So it's like, I wanted to create this space for myself to like, I know, like, okay, it's okay, Allie. Like, you can be anxious. I've done breathing exercises. I've gone to therapy. I've done things to help myself, because when you're when you're aware of who you are and you actually are dedicated to change for the better, you go through things and put yourself through obstacles that are healthy, of course, and life will do the rest, that are healthy, and you make sure that you're prepared for those things. And sometimes when you're not prepared, you think about what you could do, or what in that moment could you have done to help yourself better prepare for next time if it does happen in a different scenario or the same scenario, which is something that I do, which is I recommend to everybody. When I was going through really bad mental health, as far as like depression and stuff like that, I would keep positive notes like on a lanyard on my neck, and I would walk around with them. And every time I felt like bad about myself, or I felt like I need to go in the mirror and check my outfit for the 70th time in the last 3 minutes, I would just look at it like, girl, your outfit's okay. Girl, your hair looks beautiful. If I carried a little small mirror just in case I needed to, or if it was like too bad, I was like, no, I need to look. Baby, do what you gotta do to make that mental health or that anxiety get gone, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you can't survive without panicking. And that's something that is hard to do, especially when you are so conditioned to being comfortable in your own zone, but you miss out on life. And with life, you're supposed to live it to the fullest, even when you're scared, even when you're anxious. Also, that's why I'm doing my podcast. Y'all, sometimes I'd be like, I don't think I should post no more videos. I don't think people like my videos. I don't think people are listening. But if I went by those thoughts, I would not be where I am. I have 20 subscribers on YouTube, and I love y'all. Thank you. My TikToks, people be watching them. If I stop now, people will win. So the message here is, don't allow your mental conditions to cause you not to succeed in life. Love you, besties. Bye.